Ethan? Oh my god. Oh, his hand.
What's going on? Someone there?
Holy shit. Is Ethan still alive? Holy crap. Well, this does kind of look like a dream sequence.
How did I get here?
It's freezing.
Freezing. Shit. My body.
Come on, game. Don't crash on me. Game. Please don't crash. Oh, crap. Yeah, it's bugging out right now. Shit, come on, are you kidding me? Okay, let's see if we could try this again. You know, I even restarted my computer, I restarted my Xbox, so yeah, let's see if the game will stabilize this time and hopefully not crash.
How did I get here?
Anyway.
God, it's freezing.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, my body.
Crap. Come on, hang in there.
You're so dumb.
Evelyn?
Evelyn? How are you here?
You're dead.
Dead? I mean, Miranda. She... no. I still have to save Rose.
Yeah, we still have to save our baby girl.
It wasn't Miranda. You were always dead.
What?
What are you saying? I can still...
See? Miranda didn't kill you. You mean you didn't think it was weird? No matter how much you got hurt? Remember?
Mm-hmm.
3 years ago, the Baker house. You were murdered by Jack.
Oh.
You died there 3 years ago.
That's impossible.
Yeah, you're saying he's a zombie?
No way.
You shouldn't even be able to walk around.
Quit messing with my head.
You shouldn't be walking.
Screw you! What am I? I did all that. Rose. Mia.
Come on, Ethan, fight! Move.
Now do you get it? Your whole body is nothing but mold. You can't ever see your family again.
Oh, fuck off.
Family. Family. No. Rose. I have to save my daughter.
You're already dead. Dead!
Shut up!
I will save Rose!
Yeah, you still watch his fingers. You
At
still watch your
last,
fingers.
he awakes.
Duke.
Where am I?
My carriage, Ethan. You were having a nightmare.
Duke?
Your battle with Heisenberg was a sight to see. But to think Miranda would show herself.
How long have I been out?
Not long till dawn.
Duke, I need a favor. Take me to Miranda.
I assumed as much and am already on the way.
Thank you.
We should arrive shortly.
Thank you.
But Ethan, are you sure of this? Your body is, well, falling apart.
Yeah, well aware of that.
Yes.
Foolish of me to ask.
Speaking of foolish questions, who, what are you?
Even I can't quite answer that.
Oh,
We're here.
I owe you one.
Mr. Winters, I'm afraid you can't return to your old world any longer. Are you ready?
Yeah. I have to be.
okay.
I gotta go.
So get Rose back from Miranda. But holy shit. Okay, so you're telling me Ethan was dead from the very start of Resident Evil 7, where he first met Jack. Literally, Jack killed Ethan on first sight, pretty much. Our first encounter with Jack, well, he killed Ethan apparently, and well, Ethan was infected with the mold. Wow, that is quite a twist. That is quite a twist. Like, Ethan has been a dead man for a long time. Like, holy crap. But you know what? It's fine. Whatever. Doesn't matter. Hello. Yeah, ammo, health. Yeah, still got all my shit. Okay. But yeah, it doesn't really quite matter if Ethan is a dead man walking. He's still determined to fight for his daughter. Yeah, here's the save. Yeah, let's make a save. Let's save over this. Okay. Okay. Anything else before we proceed? Also, this looks like an item box. Yeah, I am quite surprised that this game didn't implement the item box. I mean, I guess it makes sense since the inventory system it does work very, very different from previous games. I mean, crafting materials, key items, and treasures. Well, I guess maybe not treasures, but yeah, key items and crafting materials did go into your inventory in previous games. But you know, in this game, you know, items are mostly just ammo, health, and ingredients. While you know, crafting materials and key items have their own separate inventory slot or inventory section. But whatever. So out of my way. Anything in here? Yeah, get my explosive rounds. Okay, equip. Yeah, reload. Yeah, I do got a lot of sniper rifle rounds. Okay. Okay, shortcut. There you go. Alright. Yeah, I can't sprint. Yeah.
Out of my way.
Yeah, out of my way. Fuck off. I need to save my daughter. I said get out of my way. Fuck off. Alright, let's see here. Alright, Give me a moment. Really? Go away.
I gotta keep going.
Yeah, keep moving. And get out of my way.
Little Ava, my beautiful daughter. Come to me. Ava, is that you? Oh, how I've missed you. What? My power is leaving me!
Rose! Miranda!
Interesting. Your body certainly isn't normal.
Give Rose to me! Now!
You will see. Once I kill you properly, everything.
Oh!
Get her now!
Okay. There. I gotcha. Oh, crap. Yeah, fuck off. This is my baby.
I've spent a lifetime creating this moment. And you try to take it away from me. I will take what is due. My desires will be fulfilled! Rose is mine!
Over my dead body.
You fulfilled.
Alright, bring it on, bitch.
You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Ice. Now, use the worry the little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true peace.
Fuck off.
So now,
Okay. You need to heal.
how about this?
Reload. You first.
You understand the level of pain, child. How can you deny me?
Why the hell didn't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid,
Ow.
not yours?
Exactly. Okay, she kind of looks like, shit, what was his name from 4? Was it Salazar? Yeah, he kind of looks like Salazar when he turned into a boss. Yeah. Or Sadler. No, yeah, it was Lord Sadler, not Salazar. Sorry, it's been a while since I played 4. But yeah, I wonder if this is supposed to be a nod to at the end of 4, where you have to fight the final boss. Ow, shit, come on. Okay. This is not gonna work.
I've never seen a human with this heart. Are you sure?
Ow. Fuck off.
Your time is up! Now die!
Again, you first. Okay, get my distance. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that's right. Grenade launcher. Ow, shit. Come on. Reload.
I shall put you to rest.
Ah, come on. Come on.
This is... Icy saved me from the pits of despair. It
Come on.
granted me this splendid
Oh, shit.
power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Exactly. Okay, let's see here. Ammo. Okay, let's see here. Alright. The Magnum. Ooh. Ah, shit. Okay. Come on, bring it. Oh, crap. Come on. Come on, reload. Come on, bring it! Come on, reload. Again, you first. Like, I insist you die first.
Oh, great Megamyces, hear my prayer!
Like, I'm not sure if I shoot that. Ow, shit, come on! Oop. Everything's black and white now. Well, come on, show yourself.
Strangers, I think it's time we left things in my house. Oh, rest now.
The hell I will.
Mm-hmm.
Die, 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 die!
Again, you fucking first, bitch.
I will take back my daughter!
How many times do I have to tell you? She is my daughter, goddammit.
I understand your feelings, Mr. Fox. If I combine Rose with a Megamyces, my daughter will be made manifest at last!
Ow, ow, ow. Come on. Come on.
A century! All for this day!
Just fucking die.
Cease this foolishness!
Come on now. Ow.
Why do you... Surely you have no ears now, so close to death.
She's my goddamn daughter. You psycho.
Exactly. Ow, 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 ow,
Hold still.
ow. No, you hold still.
Your life is over, Mr. Fox. Why do you...
Ow, shit.
Your time is up! Now die!
I'm already dead. But I'm still kicking.
For my daughter!
Yeah, well, this is for my daughter. Come on, reload. Yeah, good thing I saved up a lot of pistol ammo.
Those four men, they could do nothing to assuage my years of loneliness.
Ever think your father might be you, Miranda? You're not capable of real love.
Yeah, this isn't love, this is madness. Ow. Come on now.
Die, 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 die.
Okay.
I will take back my daughter!
Come on now.
After all, everyone dies.
Yeah, maybe, but not today. Come on. Come on, just die already, you bullet sponge. Ow, come on. I've been interfering for a long time. Oh shit, I'm out of health. Oh shit. Crap.
Rose is truly my best.
Okay, I'm dead. Yeah, Duke, I need your supplies real quick. So give me a moment. Okay, anything I can sell at the moment? Probably don't need the lockpicks anymore. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the finale, so I'm just gonna sell the lockpicks. Also, it's kind of weird how there's no like side pictures. Anyway, supplies. Yeah, I'm gonna need all the health I can grab, and all the ammo I can grab. I mean, I got plenty of sniper rifle rounds. Yeah, let's actually take a few explosives. Also, what's this? Sure. Okay. Anything else? Okay. Any upgrades I can do? Yeah, let's upgrade to firepower. Sure. Reload. Okay, shotgun. Sure, let's do capacity. Okay, anything else? Sure. And I think that's pretty much everything I can do at the moment. Okay. Okay. Let's see here. Okay. Let's try this again.
You fulfilled your purpose.
Okay. So we're gone, bitch.
You disposed of my false children and awakened the glorious Megamycete. Now, please do not worry for little Rose. I assure you I'll provide her with true.
Yeah, give me distance.
Die peacefully.
I'm not letting you get away.
Don't resist.
Yeah, give me distance.
There's nothing.
Yeah, screw your little shit. Ow. Come on now.
You understand that that was How can you deny me?
Why the hell can't you realize Rose is my goddamn kid, not yours?
Exactly. Come on, just die already.
I shall put you to rest.
Ow.
This is
Ow. Okay, heal. Yeah, maybe I should try to avoid that attack.
you won't.
Nah. So super focus mode activated.
Die.
Come on now. Ow, shit. Come on. Get healed.
I've never seen a human live without heart.
Ow.
You won't.
Ow.
The Megamycete saved me from the pits of despair. It granted me this splendid power.
Yeah, right. All it's done is drive you nuts.
Yeah, I don't think so. Ow, shit. Come on. Come on, heal. Okay, ammo.
Will this?
Come on now. Get the shit out of here. Come on, reload. Come on.
After all, everyone dies.
Get that shit out of here. Come on now. Again, you first. Get the shit out of here. Come on, sniper rifle, don't fail me.
Die and be swallowed into the Megamycete for all time!
Come on. Yeah, you don't like it, huh? Okay.
Now, Mr. Winters, I think it's time you left in my hands.
Fuck you.
Rest now.
The hell I will!
I will take back my daughter!
Come on now. Okay.
Die, 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 die. I understand your feelings, Mr. Winters.
I don't think you do.
But this is...
Okay.
If I combine Rose with a Megamycete, my daughter will be made manifest at last! A century! All for this day!
Come on now. Eat sniper rifle.
Such vitality.
Ow, shit. Come on. I saw shotgun shells. Not sure if I picked them up.
After
I guess I did.
all, everyone dies.
Get that shit out of here.
Why do you
Ow, shit.
so
She's my daughter. I have to raise her properly.
My goddamn daughter! You psycho!
Ow, shit. Come on. Get this shit out of here. Come on now. She's really testing my patience.
Why?
Okay, that's it.
How about this?
Ow, come on. Reload.
Here I come.
Okay. Oh, Jesus Christ.
I will take back my daughter! Die, 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 die.
Come on now.
They could do nothing to assuage my years of loneliness.
Ever think the problem might be you, Miranda?
Exactly.
You're not capable of real love.
Your life is over, Mr. Winters. Why do you stay?
Ow.
This is...
We can gather. There you go.
Cease.
Ow, shit. Come on. Come on, heal. Get the shit out of here. Come on. Just die already. Oof.
My wish will come.
Ow, shit. Come on, reload.
Time is up! Now die! I will see my hopes. I must.
Get that shit out of here. Yeah, give me those shotgun shells. Ow, come on. Ugh. Okay, how much health do I have? Okay.
Why won't you?
Come on.
I will take back my daughter!
Come on. Oh, shit. Come on. Yeah. Come on.
To ensure I never see your face,
Fuck off.
I will
Fuck off.
every single cell of
Come on. Die already!
My daughter! My Eva!
Oh, Rose, my baby.
Rose!
It's okay, it's okay.
It's alright, Rose. It's alright.
Oh, shit. No, no, no. No, no, no. No, not like this. Not like this! Ethan, no.
Ethan! Ethan! Come on, Ethan. Come on, Ethan, wake up.
Chris,
Ethan, you did it. It's finished.
I think we've finished each other.
Ethan, we gotta move.
Yes. Come on, Ethan. Don't give up just yet. Oh, crap.
Keep moving, Ethan. There's a bomb in that thing that'll blow this whole village sky high. Hey, look at me. When I hit this trigger, we can't be anywhere near it. Ah, damn it. Mia's waiting for you. She's alive, you hear me? Alive.
Mia, I'm so sorry. I love you. Keep Rose safe.
Hey. Hey.
Ethan, stay with us.
And you tell yourself. Now come on, it's not that much further.
Watch over her. Teach her to be strong. God damn it.
Oh.
Goodbye, Rosemary.
Ethan.
So this is how it ends, huh? Send me out with a bang.
Rose?
Go. Go, take us up now.
Wait! Where's Ethan?
Get moving. We have to get clear.
No! We can't go, not without my husband!
Mia, sit down and strap in.
Not before you tell me where Ethan is. I know he wouldn't abandon us. Tell me what's going on. Where? What was that?
I told you to sit down.
Where is he? have you done?
He's gone. That's right. He stayed so we could all escape. I'm sorry.
Captain, you need to see this. BSAA didn't send soldiers. This is a bioweapon.
The hell were they thinking?
Orders, Captain.
Pick up the rest of the squad. Plot a course for BSAA Europe HQ. Someone's gotta pay.
Damn. Well, at least Ethan went out with a bang. Holy fucking shit.
I went searching for berries within the darkness, cold and silent. A voice called out to me. As I walked through the graveyard, dark waver appeared with a dress in his hand. He said, onwards I walked to a there's deep and mysterious. Then the Fish King appeared. One handful I approached an iron steed adorned with gold, and I grabbed what I found.
Gifts we gave, but more you took, she snarled. So more in turn is due. In a blink, the girl was trapped inside a mirror. Her parents, though, had searched all day and at last arrived. With rampant rage, Father fought the witch, while Mother's loving touch shattered the dark enchantment. But the witch was strong, and Father yelled, "Save our daughter!" So Mother bore their child to safety as the forest was consumed. Even now, the burnt forest is a grim reminder of Father's sacrifice. To this day, any child who stares too long into the charred wasteland will be haunted by nightmares of getting lost while picking berries.
Hello, my tears, because of you, I am who I am. Hello, sorrow, because of you.
of you. I am who I am. Hello, sorrow. Because of you, I am who
Is this Rose?
Do you think the little boy will be able to touch the moon?
Nobody can touch the moon. It's too far away.
Wait, what if he has a rocket ship?
Okay, then you can touch it, but it'd be very, very cool.
You were being silly. I don't think that...
Hey, Dad. Happy birthday. Sorry I missed last week. I have a lot of tests coming up. You know how it is. Talk of the goddamn devil. Duty calls. I love you.
Yeah, I found her. Where else? Today of all days. We have a situation. You're needed, Evelyn.
Don't you ever call me that again.
Whoa, it's just a joke, Rose.
I can show you things even Chris doesn't know I can do.
We have a clear shot.
Stand down. I can handle it. She's just a kid.
Way to keep it together, Rose.
You're a lot like him, you know?
I know.
Okay, holy shit. Okay. Yeah, save. Wow. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I did kind of tear up when Rose, visited Ethan's grave. Like, I genuinely teared at that moment. Just our little girl, our little girl growing up, visiting her father's gravestone. Wow, that definitely got me. Well, guys, that was Resident Evil Village. Holy shit, this is an awesome game. Like, holy crap. Like, I'm trying to keep it together, but I'm still a little emotional at this point. So I'll get back to you guys in a minute because, well, I'm a little emotional right now after all that. So I'll give you guys my full thoughts on this game another time because I need to get it together right now. Holy shit. Alright everyone, I'm back. It's time that I give you guys my thoughts and opinions on Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8. Now normally when I make reviews, I usually do it in an unscripted and raw manner with some bullet points that I wrote down to go off with. But this time, I want to give Resident Evil Village a proper review because I like this game and there's a lot I want to talk about. So just by me making an unscripted half-assed reveal will not do this game justice. I did record a good hour of me just talking about Village, but I want to take all what I said during that 1 hour recording and do it more professionally this time. So with that out of the way, let's get this started. The game begins with a bedtime story, Village of Shadows. In this local tale, a young girl went with her mother to find berries for her father. The rascal broke free from mother's grasp and ventures off into the forest. The child meets many creatures along her way. First was the Bat Lord, who bit his own wing and gave the girl some of his blood. Second was a Dark Weaver, who crafted a beautiful dress for the girl. Third was the Fish King, who offered one of his many fins to the girl. Fourth was an iron steed bearing a golden gear. The creature said nothing as the girl approached and snatched what she thought was another gift. The horse grew angry and summoned the other monsters. Suddenly, a witch appeared and trapped the girl inside a mirror. The young girl's parents searched all day for her and finally arrived. The mother freed the daughter and fled together, while the father fought the witch as the forest was consumed in flames. To this day, the burnt forest is a grim reminder of the father's sacrifice. Definitely a creepy story to tell it to your 6-month-old daughter, but this isn't just some random story that developers put in the game just for shits and giggles. No, they added Village of Shadows as a condensation of the main plot to come for Resident Evil Village. The characters in Village and in the storybook are very similar. The child and mother are Rose and Mia, the Bat Lord is Alcinia Dimitrescu, the Dark Weaver is Donna Beneviento, the Fish King is Salvatore Monroe, the Iron Steed is Carl Heisenberg, the Witch is Mother Miranda, and of course, the father is Ethan, who sacrificed himself to save his child. I do like the parallels of the two stories. Cool stuff. Really like that little detail. Now let's talk about the characters. Ethan Winters, the main character from the last game, Resident Evil 7, returns in Village. In the previous game, he was a blank slate, an average Joe for the player to easily put themselves in his shoes for that sweet first-person immersion. But Ethan in Village is a more developed character this time and who has gotten some military training. He is a father who is willing to go through hell a second time just to save his daughter. I really do like Ethan in this game. He's someone I can get behind. He may be an average everyday guy, but that's what makes him so relatable. We don't get to see Ethan's face at all, not even at the end of the game, which I think is an odd design decision. I wish we could have seen his face at the end of the game, at least for a few seconds. But even though we don't get to see his face, he does have a strong voice in my opinion. Like, I can feel the weight of his breathing and tone of voice when he's angry or confused or in serious pain. Especially when he finds out that the first flask he collected contains Rose's head, which is pretty fucked up. You can hear how confused and shocked Ethan was when he discovered this revelation, and how he was being a little aggressive towards the Duke who was being casual about the situation. Ethan Winters has become a new favorite character of mine in the Resident Evil series. Sure, he's no Chris Redfield, or Leon Kennedy, or Barry, or Jake, or any other memorable character in the series. He may not be a badass like everyone else, but he's got balls of steel. And in terms of raw emotion and determination as a father, Ethan Winters wins in my book. And the plot twist at the end of the game where we learn that Ethan was murdered by Jack at the beginning of Resident Evil 7 and has been a mold zombie for 3 years? This explains a lot actually, because no normal human can survive what Ethan has been through, and how he can just reattach his missing limbs with a little help of herbal liquid. Even when he had his heart literally ripped out of his chest, he still has enough energy to fight. And this was foreshadowed throughout the game. When Lady Dimitrescu drank some of Ethan's blood, she said how he was starting to go a little stale. Or when Ethan told the old hag how he almost died in the castle, which she replied to him, "How can a man be almost dead?" Quite the revelation. But even though Ethan is a dead man walking, he still managed to defeat Miranda and save Rose. However, his time was running out. And when I saw he was breaking down right in front of my eyes, I was freaking out. I didn't want to see my boy Ethan go. But unfortunately, this was the end of his road. It's like what the Duke said, he can't return to his old world any longer. So when he sacrificed himself and went out with a bang, man, that hit hard. I'm gonna miss you, Ethan. Now let's talk about Chris Redfield for a moment. The many trailers that Village promoted painted a picture that Chris was going to take a more villain role this time. What with his whole team storming Ethan's house and shooting the pretend Mia with a suppressed pistol 5 times in the face. Even the main cover of the game suggested that Chris was going to become a werewolf, or at least influenced by one. It would have been interesting to see a fan favorite character like Chris Redfield, a man who's known to save the world on many occasions, to suddenly take a darker path. To take a quote from the Dark Knight movie, you either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain. But that's not the case at all. Chris Redfield is very much still on our side, but he's clearly made some questionable decisions. Like, why would he open fire at Miranda, who was disguised as Mia, without warning Ethan, or taking Rose away without explaining what's going on and just knocking Ethan out? Even Chris's teammates gave him shit for not telling Ethan. And his reasons for not telling Ethan is because he doesn't want him to get involved, or that there wasn't enough time to explain. Obviously, Capcom wanted us to believe that Chris was going to take a villain role in Resident Evil Village and subvert our expectations. But it just made Chris look like an inconsiderate asshole, or maybe that was their intention. Having him becoming more of an asshole because of years of bioterrorism, death, and loss of teammates can definitely darken someone like Chris Redfield. I mean, the man was drinking a lot in Resident Evil 6 when he lost his teammates. Hell, even in Vendetta, Leon was drinking because he lost teammates too, as absurd as that movie was. But regardless, I feel like they could have handled the situation a lot better. The section where we do play as Chris is a nice callback to Not a Hero in Resident Evil 7, where you have night vision and more powerful weapons at your disposal. It only happened for a brief moment, but it was definitely welcomed. Up next is Lady Dimitrescu, aka sexy tall vampire lady that everyone has been lusting and simping over before the game was even released. She definitely stole the show during all the trailers and promotion material for this game. Capcom made Lady Dimitrescu a big deal and will be a force to be reckoned with once the game releases. But in actuality, she's not in the game a whole lot and is only in her castle section of the story, so we don't get a lot of time with Lady D and her 3 daughters. But with what little time we do spend with her is pretty good, like hunting Ethan down in her castle, chopping his hand off like it was tissue paper, and eventually fighting her in her dragon form, which was pretty cool. And the times of being a little bit of a simp to her myself, saying things like, "I'm sorry mommy, I'll promise I'll be a good boy," or "I don't want to be punished," or maybe I do. But of course, that was me being silly and just having fun with her. Next is Donna Beneviento and her doll, Angie. She uses her abilities to cause others to hallucinate using a type of yellow flower. This is why Ethan was seeing an illusion of Mia while heading towards the Beneviento house. Speaking of which, the Beneviento house is definitely one of the highlights of this game. At first, when you're exploring the house, it's quiet, no one is around, and building up suspense. And making some slight references to the Baker house from Resident Evil 7, specifically the telephone. That gave me some deja vu. And when you get to the workshop, all your weapons are gone and you must do a series of puzzles. It's a lot like the Happy Birthday section in Resident Evil 7. Once all the puzzles are done, you go down the well and grab the breaker box key, but on your way back, the power goes out with only red lights, the atmospheres change, and on the floor is a long trail of an umbilical cord. You follow this unnecessarily long umbilical cord, and there it is at the end of the hall, a freaking horrifying baby monster. Like, that was easily the scariest thing I have ever witnessed in a Resident Evil game. And when that baby suddenly opened the door on my way back with the fuse, I was freaking the fuck out. Personally, the previous Resident Evil titles failed to scare me. They may have gotten a good few jump scares here and there, but never have terrified me to this degree. Resident Evil 4, 5, and 6 didn't even try to scare me, they were just straight up action games. Even the Resident Evil 3 remake didn't scare me that much. I never really saw Resident Evil 0 or the Resident Evil 1 remake to be all that scary either. The horror and atmosphere in those games were kinda muted, to be honest. Revelations 1 and 2 had some moments of atmosphere and isolation, but eventually become more action focused later on. At least the Resident Evil 2 remake was oozing with atmosphere and had Mr. X stalking the halls. Resident Evil 7 is a close second. The Baker house was filled with dread, isolation, claustrophobia, decay, and disgust, and the occasional sudden noises that would startle me. But Resident Evil Village terrified me with that one single moment in the game. The Beneviento section was great, and it was all about that build-up and execution. 10 out of 10 horror in my opinion. As for Beneviento herself, it pretty much boils down to hide and seek and stabbing her 3 times with a pair of scissors. Nothing too crazy, unfortunately. Next is Salvatore Monroe, who is the loser of the group and is considered the weakest out of the 4 lords. He is kinda pathetic outside of his element. His section is a flooded obstacle course with some puzzles here and there. And his boss fight is pretty good. Take cover from his acid rain attack and keep shooting him until he dies. Next is Carl Heisenberg. He is the strongest out of the 4 lords with his electromagnetic abilities and quite fed up of being under Mother Miranda's thumb. So, he's building an army of cyborg robots with drills, jetpacks, and fan blades. He tries to convince Ethan that they should work together and use Rose to crush Miranda. But obviously Ethan tells Heisenberg to go fuck himself and takes his chances with the cyborgs. Once Ethan survives the factory section, Chris gives him a makeshift tank as an apology and uses it against Heisenberg. And during said Heisenberg's boss fight using said tank, Chris blows up his factory along with his metal army. Witnessing the destruction of his factory, Heisenberg refers to Chris as a boulder-punching asshole. That has gotta be the funniest line in the entire game, and it's a complete reference to Resident Evil 5. And I cannot believe I missed that joke the first time. And finally, Mother Miranda, the mastermind behind all this. Her ability is to shapeshift into anyone she wants. She pretended to be Mia so that she can get her hands on Rose, and was also the old hag who would appear in certain points throughout the game. Miranda has been around for 100 years thanks to the power of the Megamycete. In 1919, she lost her daughter Ava to the Spanish flu and wandered into a cave where she plans to die, but instead found the Megamycete. This organism can break down and absorb the consciousness of those who come into contact with it, meaning the people who get infected with the black mold will have their memories and personalities stored in its biological hard drive. Thus, Miranda spends a century studying the Megamycete and trying to find a way to bring her daughter back to life. And during her research, she met someone who shares the same passion as her and took him in as her student, Oswell E. Spencer, the same man who would create the Umbrella Corporation and the progenitor virus. In other words, the Megamycete and Miranda are the reason why the Resident Evil series exists. Spencer may have been the cause of everyone's misery in previous games, but it was Miranda who planted the seeds. She was also approached by an organization called the Connections, who said that they would assist her if she gave them some of the mold in Ava's DNA. This would lead into the creation of Evelyn, the main antagonist in Resident Evil 7. Miranda only saw Evelyn as a defect, but not a complete failure. She did learn of Rose's existence thanks to the Connections. That's why Miranda kidnapped Rose and chopped her into little pieces to see if she can be the perfect vessel for Ava. So yeah, there's a lot of lore behind Resident Evil Village, and I had to do a lot of homework just to understand it all. Now the merchant of Resident Evil Village, the Duke. He sells you weapons, upgrades, ammo, health, recipes for crafting, trade valuable treasures for money, and cook meals to boost your stats. He even makes a reference to the merchant in Resident Evil 4, saying he was an old friend. What are you buying? The Duke is a cool guy. He's always there when you need him, even in places you would least expect him to be at. Now Mia Winters. I can't really say much about her considering that she's been pushed aside in Village. Mother Miranda kidnapped Mia and locked her away in her dungeon. And since we thought Mia was killed by Chris, we focused our attention on finding Rose. Speaking of minor characters that don't get a lot of screen time, Elena, Louisa, and all the other surviving villagers at the beginning of the game pretty much died within like 5 minutes of meeting them. I would have liked to see Elena survive a little longer and act as a supporting character, but oh well, it is what it is. And of course, our baby, Rose. She is the focus of the plot, the driving force that keeps us going through this hell. And Ethan Winters is determined to rescue his baby girl, even if it kills him, which it did, unfortunately. And when the credits are done, we get one final scene with Rose as a young adult visiting her father's gravestone. And that to me was a touching moment. Our little girl, all grown up, paying her respects. That generally made me cry a little. But it does appear that she is under the protection of some kind of agency working with Chris. The guy in the black suit makes a joke about Rose, calling her Evelyn, which she did not find amusing at all, and threatened the guy with her mold abilities. And when both characters get in the car, the guy in black tells Rose she's a lot like her father, Ethan, and Rose simply replies to him, I know. That single line alone tells you that she knows her father very well, despite that she was only a baby when he died. Like I mentioned before, the mold in the Megamycete acts as a hive mind to those who come into contact with it. And as the ultimate successor, she retains the full consciousness and memories of everyone who perished. Jack, Evelyn, Miranda, Ethan, everyone who's been infected by the mold continues to live in Rose. I am very curious to see what is next in the Resident Evil series. Are we going to play as Rose in Resident Evil 9 or any returning characters from previous titles? What will be the next threat now that the Megamycete has been destroyed? When can we expect to see the next chapter in the Resident Evil saga? Will there be any spin-offs or side games as we wait for the next installment? And I guess the next burning question we all must ask is there going to be a Resident Evil 4 remake? Whatever the case may be, I am looking forward to see what is next for Resident Evil now that I'm a new fan of this franchise. Now that I have talked in great length about the story and characters, let's get right into the meat and potatoes of any video game, the gameplay. The gunplay is excellent. Every gun in this game serves their purpose. From pistols to shotguns, the sniper rifle, the grenade launcher, the magnum, the assault rifle, and all the other extra weapons you could get through the main menu shop are all satisfying to shoot. Ethan plays the same way as he did in Resident Evil 7, but with one new addition. When you block an enemy attack, you'll have the option to kick them away from you. It doesn't do any damage, but it will get them out of your face. Playing this game on hardcore difficulty was definitely challenging, especially at the beginning where you had to survive a huge horde of Lycans for about 4 minutes until the bell rings. Most of my deaths in this game were caused by me being a bit too careless or was not prepared for certain situations. Hardcore provided me a brutal yet fair challenge, and I can only imagine that the Village of Shadows difficulty will kick my ass. One criticism that Resident Evil 7 did receive was the lack of enemy variety. Capcom listened to the feedback, and the enemy variety has been improved in Village. We got the werewolf-like Lycans, the more traditional zombie-like ghouls, the slightly annoying flying bat creatures, the half-corpse, half-machine cyborgs, the various big guys that take a lot of punishment, and of course the boss fights. Dimitrescu and her 3 daughters, Monroe, the fan turbine guy, Heisenberg, Miranda, and I guess technically Donna and Angie, but that's a bit of a stretch. One downside I did notice in this game early on is that there's no dismemberment system. Sure, you can shoot a Lycan's head off or blow off pieces of a heavy cyborg dude's armor off, but that's pretty much it. There's no shooting arms or legs off of enemies like in Resident Evil 7 or in Resident Evil 2 Remake. So, while the guns in game are good, it's the feedback from the enemies that isn't quite as satisfying like in previous titles. So it's unfortunate that the gore system has been toned down, but that doesn't necessarily ruin it. It's still fun to shoot dozens of enemies with a variety of guns, but it's nowhere as satisfying as I would like it to be. The level design and exploration is great. The village is the centralized hub where you frequently revisit, opening up more areas and shortcuts as you progress. And the various domains that surround said village ranges from mostly linear segments like in the Reservoir or Stronghold to the more classic Resident Evil style level design with multiple interconnected floors, rooms, and hallways like in Castle Dimitrescu, House Beneviento, and Heisenberg's factory with some backtracking and key hunting. And venturing off the beaten path exploring optional areas will reward you with treasures and other extra goodies. I know I didn't get everything my first time playing, but I was still satisfied with the ground I covered while searching for all the items I did collect. The inventory in Village adopts the Resident Evil 4 style inventory system where each individual item will take up a certain number of slots. For example, the Lemmy handgun takes 6 slots and health and ammo packs only take up 2. And when you pick up a lot of stuff and finally look at how your inventory is doing and see it is a disorganized mess, then you'll have to play a little bit of Tetris to make sure everything's all nice and tidy. And if you're someone like me who has a little bit of OCD, you want to keep your shit organized. I mean, just spotting a pack of 22 ammo between a good row of 30s will slightly bother me. There is some satisfaction of making sure everything's put together to your liking, but it can be a little time consuming. The Tetris style organization is a nice distraction from all the carnage, but I would like to have an option where it automatically organizes things for you, but hey, that's just me. Crafting materials, key items, and treasures go to their own inventory tabs with no limit of how much you can carry. This was true in Resident Evil 4, where keys and treasures go to their own inventory menu. And while in previous games, where herbs and other materials to make stuff would take up inventory space, now goes into the crafting menu. In addition, weapon attachment parts don't take up additional space once applied to their respectable weapon. Pipe bombs and landmines stack up to 5 per 2 slots. Lockpicks only take up 1 slot and possibly with no stack limit. There's only one type of first aid, which heals all wounds, and there's no item box to store all your extra stuff. It's safe to say that Resident Evil Village's inventory system is a bit too forgiving. It may have borrowed Resident Evil 4's inventory, but it has been simplified and more user-friendly. I never had a problem with having a full inventory or not having enough space to pick up everything. And I only had 2 instances where I did run out of space when I was buying weapons from the Duke, but all I had to do was rearrange from items to make some room. I'm not saying the inventory in Village is bad, just it's been designed to be more convenient to the player, and I do feel obligated to point this out. Speaking of which, crafting makes a return. There are 5 main materials to collect: herbs, chem fluid, rusted scrap, gunpowder, and metal scrap. There are 11 items you can craft with the 5 materials, 3 of which are only available once you complete the game the first time. At first, you only have 2 items to craft: a first aid that requires an herb and chem fluid, and handgun ammo which requires 2 rusted scrap and 2 gunpowder. As you progress, the Duke will sell you recipes for more crafting items to make: shotgun shells, sniper rounds, explosive and flashbang rounds, pipe bombs, and landmines. These items share materials with other items, so you have to decide which items to create at any given time. And the 3 other recipes that I mentioned that are only available when you complete the game the first time are Magnum, Assault Rifle, and Rocket Pistol rounds. And now to the map, a helpful tool for navigating the levels. Look for points of interest and highlight rooms in either red or blue for items and treasures to collect. Visually, the map got an upgrade. Every room is filled with little details like stairways and floor patterns. Definitely a visually appealing map, and hopefully future games will have this level of detail in their maps as well. Mechanically speaking though, the map got a nerf unfortunately. No longer will it tell you exactly where items and treasures are when you are near them or couldn't pick them up because your inventory was full. Not even if they are literally above your head or below between your feet. And not all playable space will be highlighted in color, only in interior locations, with the exception of the castle rooftops. Buildings, caves, pretty much anything that isn't strictly outside. So there would be moments of me just spending a good amount of time trying to find everything in red areas, and it would drive me crazy when I couldn't find what I was missing. And when I finally do find that single rusted scrap or crystal fragment that was so well hidden, I would just say to myself, man, that took a lot longer than it should. In that one underground cave down in the water well, I simply couldn't find what I was missing down there. After like 3 or 4 checkpoint restarts, I cut my losses because I couldn't find the last item. And guess where that final item was? In a small puddle of water. Like how the hell was I supposed to know that there was a lockpick in that small puddle next to a ladder? And speaking of missing items, I only needed 1 more fish to get the final meal, but oh well, it doesn't matter. Don't get the wrong idea, the map is still extremely useful in Village, it's just not as OP like it was in Resident Evil 2 and 3 Remake. And I do get why they nerfed it, the map is supposed to help your exploration, not replace it. And also speaking of fish, hunting animals for meal ingredients. As you progress through the game, you will find and kill many animals like fish, chicken, pigs, goats, and other unique animals like the blue bird, white pig, and golden fish. Once you kill the animals, take their raw ingredients to the Duke and he will make delicious meals that will boost your stats, like permanent health increase, reduce damage while blocking, and increase movement speed. An interesting system to upgrade your stats, and as a nice nod to the whole fish and egg collecting in Resident Evil 4. Just make sure you eat something IRL before having the Duke cook the meals right in front of you. Trust me, you do not want him to make you hungry. Some of the puzzles in this game are on the easier side. The piano puzzle at the castle doesn't require you to put a whole lot of thought into it, just keep pressing random notes until the puzzle completes itself. And the film and water dam puzzles literally have a piece of paper next to them that gives you the answer to solve them. Now, I didn't mind how easy they were the first time I played, but in retrospect, some of the puzzles could have been better. Like the piano should have worked how the portable saves worked in Resident Evil 2 Remake, where if you enter in a single key out of order, you'll have to restart the sequence all over again. And instead of straight up giving us the correct order for the films, let us view the film movie and see which scene goes into what order. And as for the dam puzzle, have the paper ripped in half where 4 or 5 color panels are missing and you have to figure out the rest through trial and error. But regardless, these easy puzzles don't really bother me too much, but once again, I felt obligated to point this out. There are some decent puzzles, like swinging fire to light up the pillars, lining up scratches on the music box, or flipping 3 color switches from longest to shortest duration. And the 4 labyrinth puzzles are pretty neat. get the ball rolling through the small obstacle course, and reach the goal. The first 3 were pretty easy, but it was the 4th one that really grinded my gears. Pun intended. Resident Evil Village does lean a bit too heavy on the action than horror in some points, especially towards the end where you fight a lot of enemies with more powerful weapons. And since every fallen enemy drops loot like money, treasure, and crafting materials, you're more incentivized to kill as many enemies as possible. But personally, it's not a big deal to me. The game is still a lot of fun, and that's all that matters. And with what little horror we do get in this game is still pretty good. Especially the whole baby incident at House Beneviento. That single section alone is more than enough to make up for it. Graphically speaking, Resident Evil Village looks amazing, and playing this on Xbox Series X, it looks phenomenal. The level of detail in the environments is great. From the village to the castle, the reservoir, the factory, every location is brimming with detail and style. And the character models have a high level of hyperrealism to them, it's almost uncanny. The audio and music in this game is pretty good. The guns sound like they pack a punch, and the ambient noises complements the environments. The character dialogue is spot on, all the voice actors really gave it their best. And the save room theme that you guys are hearing right now is so relaxing, like I can listen to this theme all day. I've only had one major crash at the very end of the game, and at least one temporary freeze frame, but other than that, the game works perfectly fine. Solid performance and frame rate with barely any bugs or glitches. And lastly, let's talk about the comparisons between Resident Evil 4 and Resident Evil Village. Now, I've already previously talked about the similarities of the 2 games. The Tetris-style organizing inventory system, a merchant where you can buy and sell upgrades with, and some light fishing and hunting. So let me list off the more prominent comparisons between 4 and Village that I can think of. The 2 plots are about the kidnapping of a daughter. The 2 main protagonists from a previous title returns with more experience and personality. The settings of the 2 games are located in Europe with villages and castles. Both games have a survive until the bell rings encounter at the beginning. Both games have a tall tyrant-like figure with some underlings getting in your way. Both games have a lake monster boss fight. The final act in both games is in a more industrial location with tougher enemies. And both games end with a final boss fight against the mastermind in a spider-like transformation. Fun fact. One of the original ideals for Resident Evil 4 during its development would have Leon face off possessed dolls and have more supernatural elements. This original idea would be reincarnated as the House Beneviento section where Ethan gets attacked by creepy dolls in a hallucination. Resident Evil Village borrowed a lot of elements from Resident Evil 4. And you do have to ask, did Capcom make Resident Evil Village a soft remake of Resident Evil 4, or is it some kind of warm-up for a potential Resident Evil 4 remake in the future? Or maybe they just want to make a sequel in the same vein as Resident Evil 4. But personally, I feel like Village should stand on its own 2 feet without constantly being compared to Resident Evil 4. And I'm only saying that because there were a lot of things about Resident Evil 4 I was not a big fan of. From stiff tank controls, to awkward aiming, cringeworthy dialogue and jokes, annoying quick-time events that would come out of nowhere, especially in cutscenes, and Ashley Graham easily being the most insufferable character I have ever witnessed in a video game. Resident Evil 4 can be a fun game, but that metaphorical onion is layered with annoyances that I cannot overlook. And with that, I believe that's everything I wanted to talk about. Thank you everyone for listening to my review of Resident Evil Village. Putting this together did take a while and I was a little hesitant on even making such a scripted review in the first place, but I'm happy with how it turned out. I've obviously added more detail into this than I originally did in my raw 1-hour recording. And to be honest, I'm glad I decided to do this properly this time because that original recording was so scuff. There was so much stuttering and repeating words such as like or and you know. Not exactly things you want to hear in a review, especially towards a video game you really like, but I digress. Resident Evil Village is an awesome game. Is it a perfect game? Not really, but then again, not every game is perfect. Unless you're Dead Space 2. Village does have its downsides, and it's not as great as Resident Evil 7 or Resident Evil 2 Remake. But regardless, Resident Evil Village, aka Resident Evil 8, was still one hell of a game, and I had a lot of fun with it. So much fun in fact, that at the time of this video, I've already played another round of Resident Evil Village on New Game Plus, and watched my friend Miss Purple33 stream this game on Twitch. But of course, this is all just my opinion, and everyone else is entitled of theirs as well. Some people might dislike this game for one reason or another, and trust me, I have seen some videos of people expressing their disappointments towards this game. But you know what? That's fine. We all have our preferences and bias that we can all respect. At first, I wasn't really too interested in Resident Evil, primarily because I was more focused on Dead Space at the time. So when my friend Okami did convince me to play Resident Evil 6, I thought it was just an inferior version of Dead Space. Not to mention, many fans would probably agree that Resident Evil 6 isn't the best game to introduce someone new into the franchise. But when I did give the series a second chance by playing Resident Evil 7, I enjoyed it. Sure, I had my initial issues with it, but it was still a great horror game. And when I saw my friends Angel and Akami playing the Resident Evil 2 remake, I was like, yeah, that looks fun, I want to play this. After that, I was hooked, and the rest was history. I played the Resident Evil 3 remake, I recorded Resident Evil 5 with Akami, I even completed a whole 17-day marathon playing Resident Evil 0, Remake 1, 4, Revelations 1 and 2, and finally, playing and reviewing Resident Evil Village, which will probably be my game of the year of 2021. This franchise has been a crazy roller coaster for me over the past few years, and each game in the series has its ups and downs. I had my favorites, I had my least favorites, but I had a good time and I don't regret it. Sure, I can always go a little deeper into the series and try out the other games I left out, like Code Veronica or Umbrella/Darkside Chronicles or whatever Operation Raccoon City is, but the 11 games I did play are more than enough. 8 mainline titles, 3 which are remakes, 1 prequel, and 2 side games, so I believe that should suffice for now. Well then, I believe I talked a bit too much now, didn't I? I mean, this has been a good 6,300 word long review, so I better wrap this up. Well everyone, thank you for watching me play the number of Resident Evil games, and for sticking around to hear me ramble about this 25-year-old franchise. This has been your host Brett, and I'll see you guys next time. Later.